Right now at 4, dozens of Education Department fighting to improve. And tonight it's do or die. And this morning, as we always do, with a look at your weather and your traffic. We've got Alexa Farrell standing by to check on the roads and the rails for you in just a moment. Good morning to you. But first, let's head over to meteorologist Stacy-Ann Gooden with a wet start to the day.
Yeah, boy, is it wet. You'll notice the roads are a little damp as you make your way out. Sidewalks, be careful. Of course, we have some rain still moving across eastern Long Island, and it looks like things have cleared up quite a bit. May notice a little misting happening across the 5 boroughs, but other than that, we are winding down, which is certainly good news. You won't necessarily need the umbrella today, although we can't rule out a spot shower later on. But the question is, will things clear out in time for the Manhattan Henge? We'll have a closer look at that. But wanted to point your attention to some of those rainfall totals we've gotten so far. LaGuardia about a ½ an inch, the same Belrose, Broadway Junction just shy of that. And the city, Lower Manhattan in particular, we're like at about ½ an inch as well. We'll continue to have a lowdown of what you can expect, but here are temperatures. We'll send it over to Alexa Farrell with your traffic.
Good morning, 402 here, and we're taking a live look at the Cross Bronx Expressway at this hour. You can see the roads are definitely wet out there, so give yourself extra travel time today, but things are moving along nicely at this hour. If we do move along to our subways now, public transportation a good option for you with that wet weather today, but we do have delays on your 4, 6, AE, F, and shuttle trains right now. A few different issues going on causing those delays. We also have that overnight track work on your 2, 3, 4A, ED. Taking a live look at the Cross Bronx Expressway at this hour. You can see the roads are definitely wet out there, so give yourself extra travel time today, but things are moving along nicely at this hour. If we do move along to our subways now, public transportation a good option for you with that wet weather today, but we do have delays on your 4, 6, AE, F, and shuttle trains right now. A few different issues going on causing those delays. We also have that overnight track work on your 2, 3, 4A, ED.
On Starbucks' website.
How much?
I don't know. They didn't say.
Well, let me Google that.
I'll do it for free.
All right, we'll just look it
You
up.
do it for free? You work for free?
Well, no.
Name me the
Drink
price.
a lot of coffee.
Not all the amount of coffee in the world is not going.
If you pay for my travel and stay, I'll go drink coffee across the world.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they got amenities, hotel. Okay.
Yeah. I get a little massage every once in a while.
Okay. Now we're talking.
Hey, but hey, how about that weather?
Okay, how about that? It makes you want to just do a getaway, escape from this fog and mist that we have across the city. A few leftover showers, eastern Long Island, a little stubborn, but eventually give it another few hours, it will be good to go. It's going to eventually clear out. They will be stuck in the clouds though for a little while, but it looks like things may clear out in time to check out the Manhattan Henge. At this point, you'll see the full sun kissing that New York City grid. Major east streets west for prime viewing. Major east-west streets, I should say. 34th, 42nd, 57th Streets, 14th, 23rd. Also Hunters Point, South Park if you're in Queens, and Gantry State Park. So the next one is July 11th to 12th. If you miss this one, you'll have another shot over the summer. And you know what? You'll probably have a better chance with the weather holding up, because usually spring showers, leads to possibilities of clouds and, blocking our view. Okay, so this is moving out. Eastern Connecticut, eastern Long Island, the last to get it. We're starting to finally see things clear out. Just visibility may be hampered just a little bit. We have area of low pressure number 1 hugging New England coast. We have another one just off to our north and west. We will have another area of low pressure that'll be building in from the mid-Atlantic. That's going to bring us our next round of showers. Right now, temperatures are in the 50s. Winds are pretty calm for the most part. We're in the 60s. Low 70s this afternoon. We'll be stuck in the clouds for a little while, but then we'll start to ease on out. It looks like after about 5 p.m. And then the eastern end of Long Island will be the last bit to get stuck in the clouds and be relieved from all of that. Overnight temperature is upper 50s, low 60s. And here's a look at where we stand. There's that low that I'm talking about. This is for Friday, bringing us some more rounds of rain, so just plan on that. We can't rule out some showers before then, but I think the bulk of it happens tomorrow afternoon into Saturday. Heavy downpours are expected, something that we're going to watch. That cold front sweeps through, may dip temperatures a little bit Saturday, Sunday, but then temperatures rebounding thereafter. For now, 71, so a little bit below average. We'll be jumping up to about 76 with that west-southwest flow, and then there's a possibility of some thunderstorms embedded in this next system, by the way. Sunday, the better half. And then we have temperatures climbing well into the 70s, low 80s. So by next Wednesday, it's going to feel like summer. Alexa, over to you.
I could cry, Stacy-Ann. The sun's coming back. I can't wait. All right, but for today, we're dealing with that rain for sure. Grand Central Parkway right here. A wet commute this morning if you are hitting the roads, and just double check with your carrier before you head out. LaGuardia looking nice and quiet right now. Some of the planes on the tarmac over there. Over on our subways, you have your E and F. We have some track maintenance going on, causing delays in both directions, so be prepared for that. Although public transportation a good bet for you today, especially with the weather. Your 2, 3, 4A, E, D, L, N, Q, and R trains is where we're seeing that overnight track work. And then on our transit, you're looking good across the board, but we do have conditions on your PATH train track conditions causing delays on Journal Square to 33rd via Hoboken, so just note that. Alternate side parking rules are suspended today. A little treat, that's for religious observances. Craig, over to you.
All right.
That show is hilarious.
I keep hearing such great things about that show. I want to sit down and binge it.
My kids watch it. They love it, especially Anastasia. I think she's up to date with all the seasons and everything. But it really is clever and real, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I sprinkle a few episodes here and there.
Yeah.
I'm not like a consistent watcher, but every time it's so hilarious.
Yeah, because it's like a docu-comedy series.
Yeah, the way it's shot,
Yeah, the way it's shot.
All right, so I'll definitely binge that because I don't want to go outside.
No.
Oh my goodness, today would be a perfect day to binge, that's for sure, because we got the clouds, we got the rain. Oh my gosh, what's going? Oh, that's a droplet on the screen. I was like, is there something invading us? No, but no, that's just the raindrops and the light from the building, like glistening off of it, perhaps. Eastern end of Long Island, the last bit to get the showers, but you may notice a little misty action, and of course fog is going to be something you have to contend with, along with the prolonged cloud cover for the first part of your day. Temperatures in the 50s. It's nice, it's comfortable temperature-wise. We're at 58, Islip, a pair of 5s in New York City, Newark, Caldwell, and when we look at visibility, Craig in the opening there mentioned fog. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. Areas of fog expected through a good part of your morning. Eventually it'll start to get a little bit better, a little bit brighter in spots. Taking a look at our planner, temperatures struggling a bit, low 70s, some upper 60s sprinkled in. We do have a warm up in store, and yes, some more rain on the way. We'll talk about that too. Let's talk traffic with Alexa Farrell.
Morning, yeah, wet weather going to be the story of the day. As far as your commute goes, your Long Island Expressway definitely going to be a bit of a slick ride as you head on through. So just take it easy on the roads and give yourself some extra
60s, low 70s, and we'll eventually get those breaks in the clouds, hopefully in time to check out Manhattan Henge. We're down back to the 50s, low 60s. Not a bad night. Here's a look ahead, and what I was saying is this, right? There is a slight chance of a few lingering showers as we head into this afternoon, but I think the bulk of it will be dry as we head into Friday. Yeah, maybe a spot shower. It'll be brief around the 8 o'clock hour. The bulk of this will happen later in the day, in the afternoon. Southwestern Connecticut may get hit with a few showers as well, maybe even a brief downpour by around 5 p.m. Scattered in nature, and then as we head into the evening hours, kind of like yesterday, the bulk of the heavier stuff will come through after sunset into the early part of the overnight. Saturday starts off a little wet, maybe even some storms embedded in the system. You see those colors just firing up. That's indicative of that. Then we dry out eventually, but again, a few more showers in the evening hours. Sunday, definitely the better half of the weekend. About 1 inch to 2 inches possible. That's to come on top of what we already got. And here to look at your 7-day buildup. Feeling like summer by next week. We'll send it over to Alexa.
Finally feeling like summer around here. Finally feeling like summer around here. All right, Stacy-Ann, thank you so much. Of course, today it's not feeling like summer. You may even need the heat in the car in your morning commute here. Your Belt Parkway, right where it meets the Van Wyck Expressway.
Tell you what, man, she is, like you said, she's a genius.
Yeah, she's tiny, but a big talent, that's for sure.
I was going to say a lot of talent packed in there.
That's true. All right, we've got to get a look at our traffic and our weather this morning. I mean, listen, bottom line, the roads are wet. Just be careful out there.
Totally. And if I was getting behind the wheel today, I would definitely use the heated seat because it's like that chill that you can't just get rid of, you know?
Yeah. And it's one of those, like this time of year, it's like in the morning, overnight, you want to turn up the heat. And then during the daytime, you want to blast the AC.
Yes.
Because it gets hot. And with the sun hopefully creeping in, You may
Let's
want to
hope.
do just that. Yes,
So
that
it's
is
Manhattan
the hope.
Hinge tonight. Folks
Yeah,
are going to
I
be
know.
hoping for that.
We have one last look. Thank you for the windshield wipers.
There you
We
go.
have one last look of that. Until July 11th, that's the next time you'll be able to see it. Yeah, and I wish we could do something with that windshield wiper to like kind of wipe away the clouds. Just give it some time. It'll happen for us. Eastern end of Long Island, still those lingering showers. And right now, temperature is still holding steady in the mid-50s. I think we've already hit our lows. We were actually at 54 just past midnight, and it's going to steadily go up from there. So we anticipate a high around the low 70s if you're in the city, maybe a little bit cooler near the coast. And visibility down 3 miles West Hampton, 6 Brookhaven, and 2.5, believe it or not, Caldwell. So further inland, looking at a little bit more hampered visibility. So on top of the dampened streets, you want to allow plenty of extra travel time because visibility is kind of poor. You can see it right here. Here's a look at your plan. We'll have a look at the extended, and we'll send things over to Alexa Farrell. She's got your traffic.
All right, Stacy-Ann, thank you so much.
Our highs minus 1.3 degrees. When you look at our rain, well, we're at a surplus in a big way. We're talking about almost 2.5 inches above average. So we're almost done with the month. Taking a look at our temperature outlook, we expect June to be above average, about 33 to about 40% chance of that happening. The same in the temperature category. So boy, it's going to be another above normal situation for your June. Of course, something that we're going to continue to keep a close eye on. Satellite radar, eastern end of Long Island, still those showers kind of lingering a bit. And even in and around the city, we have that foggy, drizzly, kind of misty situation happening. A couple areas of low pressure systems eventually will push out. We have the high not too far behind, but there's going to be another system that's going to set up in the mid-Atlantic, supplying us with more rain Friday into Saturday. Right now, temperature-wise, we're in the 50s. 59 Islip, 55 White Plains, Caldwell, New York City. We've already hit our lows, only going up from here. Upper 60s, low 70s. We'll get some breaks of sunshine later on this afternoon, it looks like. It's not going to be a whole lot. We'll be stuck in the clouds for a little while, but soon enough. Now, overnight, we're back down into the 50s, low 60s, and a quick peek at what we have going on. Yes, there could be a shower or two during the overnight pre-dawn hours, even early morning for your Friday, eastern end of Long Island, showing just that. It's really scattered, but we'll also have some bright spots too, but increasing clouds will eventually give way to showers later in the day. It looks like those downpours could come similar to last night during the overnight period. So you figure after sunset, after that daytime heating gets underway, you know, the instability will mount and there could be some heavy downpours that can lead to some flooding, and it stays pretty unsettled into Saturday, and we can't rule out thunderstorms embedded in that system. Looks like the second half of the weekend looks better. Your Saturday doesn't look so great, although we'll get breaks in between. You can just plan on it being pretty much a dismal day. 1 to 2 inches of rain is expected when all is said and done. Of course, locally higher amounts possible. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Temperatures going up gradually. It'll feel like summer by next week with plenty of sunshine. Alexa, over to you.
All right, Stacy.
Video you've got to see. The news at 6 starts right now.
Live from Pix Plaza on 42nd Street, it's the Pix 11 Morning News.
All right, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Today is Thursday, May 29th. I'm Craig Treadway.
Good morning. I'm Vanessa Freeman. Let's get you going. Another dreary one on tap. Alexa Farrell watching the roads and rails on this Thursday, and meteorologist Stacy-Ann Gooden has our forecast.
Oh, the forecast looks a little gray to start, but eventually things will improve throughout your day. Just want to point your attention to what's happening here. As you can see, eastern end of Long Island, the last bit of showers moving through. Also Connecticut along the I-95 corridor. Everywhere else is, I wouldn't say necessarily dry. It's just kind of like that foggy, misty type of situation, but conditions will improve. And then as we look ahead to even into next week, we'll start to feel even warmer and brighter. We'll take a look at the temperatures in just a bit, but I wanted to give you a friendly reminder. Swimming pools are open nowadays, so as well as those beaches. We talked about current risks and whatnot and how to stay safe, but the CDC did put out sort of like an advisory, just kind of friendly reminder to folks. Drowning is a leading cause of deaths for young kids 1 to 4 years old. We're going to share some tips and what you need to know coming up in just a little while. We'll send things over to Alexa Farrell.
All right, Stacy-Ann.
move out. We'll have that gradual clearing, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we see that Manhattan henge. Now, those two areas of low pressure systems, those are our main concern right now. Temperature-wise, we are in the 50s and close to around 60. We already hit our lows, only going up from here, guys. By this afternoon, upper 60s, low 70s. We'll get some peaks of sunshine for sure. I say after about 5 p.m., which puts us in a good range to see that Manhattan henge. And, you know, our beach forecast, I mean, not exactly an ideal beach day. Upper 60s, low 70s near the beaches, 71 Coney Island, 67 Rockaway Beach, 4 to 5 feet on the ocean, 1 to 2 at the Sound. Winds are light, but the rip current risk is high, and that UV index at 5. Don't forget the sunscreen, guys. And although public pools open later in June 27th, private pools are opening up already, usually around Memorial Day. CDC says drowning is the leading cause of deaths, kids 1 to 4 years old. About 4,000 of them occur each year, and the kids could drown in inches of water. And don't forget, most of it happens private pools when folks are getting the pool ready and, you know, having people over. Just be careful. I just want to also reiterate some important safety tips. Don't leave your kids unsupervised. Be earshot, eye shot away. I'm always, if they get invited somewhere, I'm always making sure somebody's there who can swim. And you got to know first aid, CPR. That's also a plus. And pools should have a safety fence around them. That's always good to have as well. So just be safe out there as we get into beach season, pool season. Those tips are very, very important. Taking you back overnight, upper 50s, low 60s. I think for the most part, showers should hold off until tomorrow, but we can't rule out a few sprinkles. We dry out, but there is another round of showers and potential storms tomorrow into Saturday. Second half of the weekend looks a lot better. So if you plan on heading to the pool or the beach on Sunday, you should be okay. But again, be safe.
The sisters say they were surprised it went viral and shocked when people outside Brazil actually watched it.
I'm sorry, this is the SNL
Marissa's
skit.
out there.
This
She
is
working
not
it.
real.
Okay.
This is
Padre gets involved.
Mad TV, SNL, so the sisters work with people struggling with addiction and say music is a powerful tool to help those in need. The beatboxing sister now has 100,000 Instagram followers.
Wow.
They're
for the streets.
That is a teaser for like Sister Act 3
I know,
or something.
right?
It must be.
That is. They're going to go on tour.
Yeah.
They'll show up at Coachella. Happening today, Magnolia Bakery is giving out free banana. What am I doing here?
Look
banana pudding?
Out. It is meant to celebrate the 3rd season of Max's Sex and the City spinoff series. And just like that, returns to HBO streaming service today. So that means you can stop by.
At ShopRite, we give back here. To date, we've donated over $40 million to local charities. Join us as we shoot for another $1.5 million in donations this year as a proud sponsor of the ShopRite LPGA Classic. ShopRite, we are here.
This summer in New York State.
I'm Vanessa Freeman.
And I'm Greg Treadway. Here's a look at what we're working on this half hour. A double shooting overnight leaves one person dead. It's a family affair.
Huh. I saw that was streaming live.
What, the spelling bee?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
$50,000 as a grand prize.
Yep, nothing to
And
say.
bragging rights, of course.
Absolutely. Imagine family affair. They must have been reading the dictionary each night
I know.
before bed.
Yeah.
And now the thesaurus tonight.
Right. Switch things up.
Switch things up.
Some people, you watch Akilah and the Bee? They
Yeah.
study for years. I made it far, not far, but I made it like top of my class.
Okay.
But then then it went downhill from there.
What was
Do
the
you know
word? Do you
that-
I don't
remember?
remember the word, but I was in the 8th grade.
You're not haunted by it, you know?
What was Kiki? What's her
Kiki
name?
Palmer?
Kiki Palmer. She was the cutest thing
I know.
years ago when she came on the show
Oh,
to promote Akilah and the Bee.
Yeah.
It was, and now she's huge. Look at her.
She is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and she's sweet. Like, I've
Yeah.
never met her, but I could just see it and I feel it.
Yeah,
exuding
she was a
from the
sweet
screen.
kid.
Yeah, she radiates.
Good to know.
Good
Good
luck
to
to all those out there.
Yeah.
Not to be biased, but rooting our home team.
Yeah.
Our
Of course.
tri-staters out there,
Yeah.
Spelling Beers, good luck to
Yes.
them. Our weather bee. It looks horrible out there right now. Are we in store for flooding because it's just so much rain?
I'm glad you brought that, Vanessa. I'm glad you brought that up because I've been meaning this today. And urban flooding as well. And whenever we talk about urban flooding, we refer to like areas where there's poor drainage, low-lying areas, places like Hoboken, for instance. It's notorious for flooding, and even, you know, parts of, let's say, if you're in Coney Island, you may encounter some areas, and City Island as well. But just minor, but still the possibility is there. And as you can see, there's a little circulation there, area of low pressure, it looks like developing, and that's stirring things up a bit, preventing us from clearing out eastern Long Island. We talked about that during the morning rush, clearing out in the city, points east, eastern Long Island taking a little bit longer, so that's going to hold steady until about the 8-9 o'clock hour, and we should be good to go. Temperatures also been holding steady for the time being. We'll take a look at some of those highs, but there's visibility concerns. We'll send it over to Alexa.
All right, Steve.
A spokesperson for the state's housing agency, New York State Homes and Community Renewal, which oversees the Mitchell-Lama program for the Queens Co-op, says in parts, as with all
To make the cut, Harini had to spell the word. Family takes the spelling bee very seriously, right?
Whoa.
And I don't know the definition for either of the words that they spell. So now I got to look it up.
Couldn't use them in a sentence.
Wasn't there, Stacy-Ann, some type of astrological, was there like a meteor, like a Nemerid? I could barely say it, like a Nemerid something that happened with astrology, and I could barely say the word. Meanwhile.
Word of origin. You know, it's like no matter if you find out what the origin is, pronounce it again, whatever the tips are. Like,
Go into the Google.
Yeah, Google. Yes. Well, you know, no pressure. I'm sure she'll get far, even farther than her brother. Well, wishing all well. All right, so here's what's happening. Satellite radar, we're quiet now across the city. Just foggy, just kind of still gray. You can make out where this area of low pressure is sitting right off the coast, south of Long Island and just east of the Jersey Shore. It's still throwing back some moisture, so we're stuck in it. We're going to zoom in and see what's happening across eastern Long Island, particularly Suffolk County. It is coming down, you know, somewhat at a nice little light, drizzly, light rain kind of clip here. East Quogue, Brookhaven, traveling along 27, that's Sunrise Highway. You'll encounter some wet roads, so definitely just heed the warning. Just allow plenty of extra travel time. You should be good otherwise. We'll eventually dry out, hopefully. It looks like the clouds will start to break apart and move out after about 5 p.m., which bodes well for the Manhattan Henge. And there is that low pressure system that's going to continue to move further out, and eventually the one that's behind it won't be an issue. It's actually going to go further north and away from here. Temperatures in the 50s, close to 60 in some locations, and we'll be in the upper 60s, low 70s this afternoon. So unseasonably cool, but not by much. Winds eventually out of the northwest come later on tonight into the overnight period and into tomorrow. Upper 50s, low 60s. I know these rain icons keep popping up, but I think the overnight should generally be dry. Can't rule out a sprinkle here or there, but I think the consensus is later on Friday. So that is what we have. Eastern Long Island, maybe some lingering showers in the early morning hours tomorrow, but the better chance will be later in the day. Maybe a pop-up southwestern Connecticut at 5, but after sunset bodes well. Better chance of heavy downpours, and this is where we can get some ponding, some coastal flooding. That may be an issue. Poor drainage areas, that's what you have to look forward to. As we head into Saturday, same deal. Kind of wet, maybe even stormy. Spotty showers thereafter, and then another round coming through. So a couple areas of concern as we head into the weekend. 1 to 2 inches are possible. Here's what to expect. Rain heavy at times, localized flooding, coastal as well as urban areas, and then some travel delays. So be sure to allow plenty of extra travel time. Headed to the beach, the best day to do it on the weekend. Of course, Sunday. Any other outdoor events for that matter. Sending it over to you, Alexa.
All right. So much for joining us. We appreciate you. On this Thursday, May 29th, I'm Vanessa Freeman in for Dan Manarino.
And I'm Hazel Sanchez. I'm feeling the girl power this morning. And you're never more than 10 minutes from weather and traffic. Let's check the team out.
Hello.
Here we are.
Yay.
Great to see all of you. Not great to see this weather.
Will it move out?
Yeah.
It's taking its sweet time. It's that low just off the shore there, just off the coast of Long Island and Jersey City. New Jersey, Jersey Shore. It's just sitting there, swirling, throwing back moisture this way. So that is why. But eventually, though, it'll move out. Should we hop to it?
Let's do it.
Here we go. We got some raindrops on the camera. You head outside, you know, some folks actually carrying an umbrella in the city. Yeah, and normally some folks just try to run through the rain. But yeah, it's that kind of situation. Current conditions, well, we got to fix this. I don't know. This is just like a minor glitch here. It should be clouds and a little bit of rain. 57 degrees, 100% humidity. So we're just at that saturation state. Now you can anticipate air quality. That's the silver lining in all of this. It's good. Anything 50 or below is what we look to, 39. And it'll stay that way even into the afternoon hours. So there is good news in that regard, although it's a little dicey of a commute. Pollen count also on the lower end of the scale. So you know what? With the air quality being good, pollen.
So much for joining us. We appreciate you. On this Thursday, May 29th, I'm Vanessa Freeman in for Dan Manarino.
And I'm Hazel Sanchez. I'm feeling the girl power this morning. And you're never more than 10 minutes from weather and traffic. Let's check the team out.
Hello.
Here we are.
Yay.
Great to see all of you. Not great to see this weather.
Will it move out?
Yeah.
It's taking its sweet time. It's that low just off the shore there, just off the coast of Long Island and Jersey City. New Jersey, Jersey Shore. It's just sitting there, swirling, throwing back moisture this way. So that is why. But eventually, though, it'll move out. Should we hop to it?
Let's do it.
Here we go. We got some raindrops on the camera. You head outside, you know, some folks actually carrying an umbrella in the city. Yeah, and normally some folks just try to run through the rain. But yeah, it's that kind of situation. Current conditions, well, we got to fix this. I don't know. This is just like a minor glitch here. It should be clouds and a little bit of rain. 57 degrees, 100% humidity. So we're just at that saturation state. Now you can anticipate air quality. That's the silver lining in all of this. It's good. Anything 50 or below is what we look to, 39. And it'll stay that way even into the afternoon hours. So there is good news in that regard, although it's a little dicey of a commute. Pollen count also on the lower end of the scale. So you know what? With the air quality being good, pollen.
Like,
I'm too tired.
Do your thing. Everybody wants to be a New Yorker. I think that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the swag.
Anyone who would like to make a pitch for themselves or maybe find a friend and can submit videos via Instagram, TikTok, explaining why they are the ultimate New Yorker. The winner is looking at $1,000 and a year's supply of free hot dogs.
Oh my gosh. You could also get those specifics on how to enter the concert if you have the stomach for it. That is at pix11.com.
I have the stomach for the next story because Magnolia Bakery giving out free banana pudding. It's meant to celebrate the 3rd season of Max's Sex and the City spin-off series.
Did you not get enough yesterday?
No, ma'am. We didn't
never
have
get
banana
enough.
pudding yesterday.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You had the buildable cake, the tiered
icebox cake.
Oh my gosh. Well, and just like that
season, and that banana pudding is off the chain.
I have to try it because I'm not a banana pudding person, but that may change that.
Oh, that'll change your mind for sure. It's delicious. So, could an upset be looming in New York City's mayor's race?
It originally looked like the Democratic primary would be a cakewalk for former Governor Andrew Cuomo, but a new exclusive Pix 11 poll paints a different picture. Also,
but it's enough to be a problem. I call it weak, believe it or not. Although there may be some bright spots, enough brightness, hopefully, to check out the Manhattan Henge, but you can kind of see, you can make out the arrows, that counterclockwise flow. That's indicative of where that low pressure system sits right now. So because of that, we're getting some moisture being thrown this way, that's for sure. So if your areas like Quag, even as far west as like, say, Islip, just beyond the Nassau County border, that's when things kind of deteriorate a bit. And not to say that if you're in the city, it gets any better. Visibility also a problem. Temperatures have gone up a couple degrees since we began the broadcast. We already hit our lows for the day. Now only going up from here, and hopefully we see things clear out. But visibility, the moment, 1 1/4 mile visibility in White Plains, 2.5 in Farmingdale, 6 New York City. So budget your time accordingly. Leave enough room between you and the person ahead of you, and we'll send it over to Alexa now with traffic.
Stacy-Ann, that's such good information because you never know when there's going to be a slick spot and, you know, you don't want to crash into anyone. Over here in the Holland Tunnel, you can see there is a slowdown as you head on through and into the city today. Traffic's pretty far backed up, and it's going to take you probably about 10 minutes or so to get across the span over there. Here we do have a crash. This is on the LIE on the westbound side, right by Marathon Parkway. So one of the right lanes is blocked right there, and that is causing some pretty significant delays at this hour. They continue to build. You also have some rubbernecking delays delays going on. Subway check now, your BDJQ, that's where we're seeing delays at this hour. Still, mass transportation is probably a better bet with the roads and the weather, but we are seeing those. That's because of NYPD activity and a brake issue. And then this is what I was talking about, that weather impacting your commute. C Streak, we have a cancellation on your NYC Sandy Hook line, so that is because of the weather today. Other than that, on the water, you're looking good. Alternate side parking rules are suspended. Vanessa and Hazel, back to you.
This morning, dozens of demonstrators detained after a protest outside of an immigration courthouse.
Protesters tell Pix 11 they were standing up for migrants who are pursuing legal pathways to citizenship. Justin Finch joining us live in Lower Manhattan this morning with the very latest on this. Good morning, Justin.
Town, 0.3 inches, almost a half an inch in Amityville. So that's where we're seeing more of the prolonged rain showers. Eventually, though, all will be clear, and the hope is for the Manhattan Henge and for those watch parties later on today. All right, so temperatures in the 50s. 54 Montgomery, 57 White Plains, New York City, eventually climbing into the upper 60s, low 70s. Visibility, as I mentioned, still an issue across the way. 1.5 mile visibility in White Plains. I'll have a closer look at the extended. Sending it over to you, Alexa.
All right, Stacy-Ann, you're lucky I'm standing here because I almost just followed Craig out to get whatever he has. Okay, that's what I'll be doing after this. All right, taking a look here at the Mario Cuomo Bridge. Can you see it? No, you can't. So you can see just how dense the fog is out there. We can't even see the bridge right now. So you can see that that's going to impact your visibility out there on the road. So just take it slow and remember, low beams in weather like this are most important to use. Over here on the LIE on the westbound side, we do have that crash. We're still following that. That's right by Marathon Parkway, and you have your right lane blocked. Delays continuing to build at this hour, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. Subway check now. Brake activation has caused your 6 train to run express. And then we do have some delays going on. I know I say public transportation is a good option for you, so just budget for some extra time today with the weather on the roads and the delays that we're seeing. That's on your 2, 3, 4, 5 M, N, Q, R, and W trains. So that's a quick check of traffic today. Alternate side parking rules are suspended for religious observances. Kind of a nice treat with the weather we're having. Hazel and Vanessa, over to you.
All right, Alexa, thank you.
60 Newark, New Jersey. We already hit our lows earlier, just after midnight. We bottomed out at like 54 degrees at Central Park, so it's only going up from here. Here's a look at your visibility. 1.5 miles still. We're stuck there in White Plains. Bridgeport, Connecticut, the same deal. A bit better, but still a little hampered in New York City, 3 Farmingdale, so just budget your time accordingly. There's a look at your planner. All those raindrops, we'll get rid of it hopefully in time for the big events that are taking shape. We'll send it over to Alexa Farrell. One last look at traffic.
All right, Stacy.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, if she did it.
Dion, this shoulder's for you. The Tina shoulder. All right. A messy divorce between 2 rappers has taken over social media. The latest on the battle between Remy Ma and Papoose.
Yes. And Janet Jackson returns to CBS to claim her Icon Award more than 2 decades after the Super Bowl debacle that derailed her career. And here with Jonesy's Juice is none other than New York's very own Joe.
Or North Shore of Long Island. If you're like in maybe around Smithtown area, you may notice a few showers, maybe Hauppauge, as far south as that. And along the I-95 corridor, just a few spritz, a little light drizzle. That's about it. We dry out and we'll continue to do so. That area of low pressure moving out as well. Now, here's what you really want to know before you hit the road. Will we have clearing in time for the Manhattan Henge, or even some of the watch parties that are taking shape in the city? It looks like by 5 p.m., much improved conditions. Maybe even a little bit before then. We have some breaks in the clouds. You don't see much in the way of like that white or gray shaded areas moving through the screen here. So much brighter conditions, but we still have some pockets of rain, maybe even a shower, heavy downpour during the early part of the day tomorrow. Can't rule that out. But the main event arrives tomorrow evening into the overnight hours, and it stays pretty intense throughout on your Saturday. So some pockets of heavy downpours could lead to some ponding and